so you got the email. So let's walk through. Hi, sir.
Hey, how you
Let's
doing?
walk through I'm doing good. Let's walk through the calendar. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
Let me find it right here. All right. So, in that email, I described how we determine when to start the pill, right? First day of bleeding, first day of full flow is cycle day 1. And then on the 5th or 6th day, you're going to start your active pill.
Correct.
Does that make sense now?
Yes, I have it on my calendar too. My first day of flow is going to be October 3rd, so I'm going to start my birth control on the 7th.
Perfect. Okay. So now let's look at this calendar. So first off, this is as if it would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? And you actually will get a calendar that has real dates on it. This is just an example for you. So first thing to notice is obviously you might think, does that mean my pills start on a Sunday? But no. Again, you started on that 5th or 6th day of flow, and you call and let the IVF coordinator know. If you start your period after hours or on the weekend, just give them a call when the office opens on Monday.
Okay.
And so they'll make your first, they'll talk with you and make sure you're going to be available so we can project out a calendar. And they'll help you set up all of these in-person appointments. So you can see that the first sonogram is typically done on a Wednesday. And that sonogram is for you to start the Lupron or leuprolide acetate. So that's the first shot, and its job is to prevent you from ovulating prematurely. And you can see, so L means Lupron, and you can see the birth control pills will kind of overlap in the first several days of Lupron.
Right.
So again, that one's a Wednesday. The next week we have you back on a Friday, and at that appointment you're going to have another sonogram, and they're going to draw your blood to check your estrogen level. So if your lining to your uterus looks thin, your estrogen level is low, your ovaries are quiet, at that visit they're going to give you an instruction sheet that tells you you're going to start adding shots the next day, Saturday. So now it'll be Lupron plus Menopur plus Gonal-Letrozole, and the sheet will describe that for you exactly, how much of everything you're going to take. And so you'll start your shots Saturday evening. And so we recommend taking your shots in the evening because we're going to be drawing your blood during the day, right? And then if we want to make a change in your dosing, you would change your dose that evening.
Okay.
Sometime, after 6 o'clock at night, you want to be consistent and always take them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start the cycle, when they send you information, they created the calendar and all, they kind of send you an overview email. They actually give you a copy of the blank copy of this instruction sheet, and they give you some links that you can look at for how to take injections. So it's really good to watch those a couple of times before you come in. Make sure you have a pretty good feel for it, and then when you start the injections, by all means, pull that up on your smartphone or your computer to kind of walk you through it the first few times.
Okay.
So again, injections start on a Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Your next in-person visit will be on a Tuesday. And this is a blood draw to check to see what your estrogen level is showing. Depending on that level, we may keep you on the same dose. We might increase or decrease the dose. And then we're typically going to see back 2 days later on a Thursday. Now we're going to add a sonogram to see what do the ovaries look like. Now do we start to see some of those follicles beginning to grow and develop. Sometimes you do come back that next at Friday. You may not. You may go from Thursday all the way through to the following Monday. Now, our egg retrievals are Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if at this sonogram everything looks good, you're done, your follicles are ready, we would trigger you and you would have your retrieval on Wednesday.
Okay.
If you're not ready that day, you're going to come back again, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes you come back both days, Tuesday and Wednesday. If someone is ready on Tuesday, their egg retrieval is on a Thursday. If they're ready on Wednesday, egg retrieval is on a Friday. So this is the part that we really can't project out for you guys. And that's why it's important, you know, for both of you, right, to have a little bit of flexibility. For sure for you in terms of being able to provide a semen sample Wednesday through Friday. And then Desiree, you know, you may have a couple more appointments here.
Okay.
The retrieval, remember the egg retrieval is done in the operating room under ultrasound guidance. So an anesthesiologist is in the room. He's going to be monitoring your blood pressure, your heart tracing, and you'll have oxygen by mask. And he'll put some propofol, a short-acting sedative, into your IV. I call that your morning margarita. Take a little brief nap.
Right.
It's the best margarita around. Takes us 10 minutes to get the eggs done.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a needle stick. Again, no incisions. We pass those follicular aspirates and syringes through a pass-through window to our embryology lab. And under the microscope, they're identifying the eggs and isolating the eggs. You wake up pretty quickly afterwards, and we move you to recovery. Most women are going to be ready to leave recovery in about 20 to 30 minutes. Most of the time, Tylenol actually works really well in recovery for pain relief. But if that doesn't work, we certainly can give, you know, some narcotics. So when you go home that day, obviously you can't do anything, right? Because, you know,
Right.
you've had some sedation. I always say don't do online shopping. You'll wind up buying something you don't know what you want. But you can go back to work the next day. No problems there. The day of the egg retrieval, the embryologist will contact you and tell you how many eggs they got. They're going to tell you the following day how many of those eggs fertilized, right? So the day after the egg retrieval, they'll give you a call. And then the embryo transfer is 5 days after the egg retrieval. So a Wednesday egg retrieval is a Monday transfer, a Thursday is a Tuesday transfer, a Friday is a Wednesday transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we would put the best embryo in, and then we would freeze the remaining embryos. Now sometimes embryos don't reach the blastocyst stage by day 5. We do transfers on day 5. So if you have a blastocyst embryo that day, we're going to transfer it. But if we have embryos that aren't quite there, we look the next day. Then we freeze those, or we freeze extra ones from day 5 as well that we can use in the future.
Okay.
After the egg retrieval, you start taking estrogen and progesterone. So estrogen by mouth, progesterone, vaginal suppositories, and you're going to continue with that. The pregnancy test, you can see, is 2 weeks after the egg retrieval, or it's 9 days after the embryo transfer.
Mm-hmm.
So when we schedule your embryo transfer, they also schedule the date for your pregnancy test, and they preemptively schedule you for a follow-up consult with me a few days later. So that if you're pregnant, we can talk about early pregnancy. If you're not, we can recap the cycle and plan for our next steps.
Okay.
Does that make sense? A little bit more sense now that you can see it?
It does, yes. I had looked at the calendar when you sent it to me last week, and I was so lost looking at this. So I was like, I could not wait to talk to Dr. Duty so that I can understand how this goes.
No, I know. So, I mean, and keep in mind, I mean, we talk about this all day long, every day. You can imagine what, dinner's like at my house.
Right.
And even for our staff, a lot of them have been doing this 15, 20 years. So we understand it is a bit of a foreign language to patients.
Right.
And so I'm a firm believer that the more you understand, the easier it is to go through.
Okay.
So we're good? Everything's ready, you think?
I'm pretty sure. As far as like how much of the medicines and stuff like that to take, we'll talk about that later.
Yep, you're going to. I'm going to stop my screen share here. So yes, you will get the instructions for how much medicine that you're going to take when you start them. So when you start Lupron, they're going to give you a page that tells you how much of that shot do I take.
Okay.
And then when you start your injections that stimulate the ovaries, they're going to give you directions that get you through the first 3 nights of injections. And then after that, everything is by phone. So they'll say, you'll already have known, okay, I'm on this dose.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll say either it's the same dose, and we're going to see you back in 2 days, or 3 days, or 4 days, or we're going to increase by so much, decrease by so much. The Menopur comes like in a little vials, little
right.
powder,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so typically women are starting on 2 powders. And then the Follistim or Gonalep comes in a little pen, and you just dial the number, and that's how you know the dose. So we write down the number for you, you dial that pen and see.
Perfect. Okay.
That part does get easier. When you get to the point where you're ready for that trigger shot, we've got a separate set of instructions we print out for that, telling you how much you're going to take, at what time do you take it, when do you come back in for blood work, when do we see you, just to get ready for the egg retrieval.
Perfect. So for me, at least, it's going to be a lot of like coming for appointments and stuff like that for like a 2-week to 3-week period.
During those 2 weeks, you're going to see us, quite a bit.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect. That makes me feel better. I'd rather come into the office to be able to ask questions and stuff like that anyway.
Well, we need to make sure that we want good communication. That's why we use a lot of written documents. Because we don't do any real discussions in the office. If you have, questions, then I'm gonna talk with Morgan, our PA, and make sure she reaches out to you as well, so that if I'm not in the office or I'm busy with patients, she can also be a source. She's going to start going over when the calendars are set. She's also going to start going over that with patients. So,
perfect.
Our goal, obviously things are always evolving. Our goal is to try to do everything we can to educate our patients so that it is as least of a stressful situation as possible.
Right.
Because, obviously this is a very big step that you take, and there's a lot riding on it. Obviously, emotionally, patients, you're striving to create your family. I know you guys are going to do great, but don't be afraid to ask, okay?
Perfect. Ooh, I feel better.
Okay, well, good. Okay, so let me know, and again, I'll reach out to her. So you're thinking around October 8th?
Yes,
So,
October 8th will be day 6.
All right, well, we will be seeing you before you know it.
Perfect. So I need to call, my next step is to call whenever I start my period.
Right, except if you start after hours or on the weekend.
Right.
Call the coordinator on that
Monday.
in the office of
Perfect. So that's what it seems like, because it seems like my period is going to start on a Saturday, so I will be in contact Monday the 5th to go from there.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Right.
And
Have a good evening.
one more question. Do I need to bring the medications with me to the appointments? Okay. All right.
No. They're going to give you, everything, in a written format.
Wonderful.
But again, before you come for that very first appointment, there's going to be some video links for you to look at.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, we really appreciate it, Dr. Duty. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
Oh, no worries. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So, as y'all can see, we just had a Zoom meeting with the doctor, and the process is going to get started.
Couple weeks away.
Yeah, it was prolonged a little bit, but we're ready to go now. Hope this is some kind of help to y'all. Hope it was informative for all y'all out there that might have to go through this one day. I hope this help y'all, ease y'all pain or ease y'all worry. And we really appreciate y'all watching our channel and going on this journey with us. Thank them, baby.
Bye, you guys. Thanks so much.
See y'all later.